Hello, you beautiful people. Guys, it's been a great long time since I've done this, but I think it's time we put a tier list out, specifically around support characters. So I have sort of worked away. This is a personal tier list for me, so this is literally me putting this out. So I'm sure there's going to be a few people telling me I got it wrong, I should have done this, I should would have moved him up there. That's fair. Guys, it is a completely not biased, but it is a completely objective tier list that is, objective to my views on the game as is. Now, a lot of you are going to probably base your teams around it, so I'm not going to waste your time too long. I'm just going to show you what I've cooked up, and you guys can tell me what you think. So, the first tier list is the level 50 support cards. Now, support cards, we typically like to tier list them in a weird way where we do 50, 65, and then 100. So their viability at 50, so at fixed level 50, their viability at 65, and then their viability at 100, because you do unlock a lot of cool stuff in between. Now, in regards to the 50 tier list, if those of you who watched the video previously would have known that this is pretty much the same. We've had a couple of new additions and we'll talk about them. So, if you haven't already, you should know why the Kunisagi card is absolutely broken. The fact that it's already got access to 2 of the trifecta of stats is just unreal, and to this day, it's still one of the best cards in the game. As you scroll down, you'll see some of the new cards, like the Butcher card that came out literally today. I'm sticking that up in the A tier. I think it's really solid, but it falls just short of the Battlefields card. And in saying that, it just doesn't have exactly what I need to tune it up to S. It's very close, but it is there. I would stick it in the A tier. And with the new movie card, so we do have the limited movie card, that sort of sits there as well, as does the Nagi movie card as well, sitting in at B tier. So you can see we've made those small additions. If you want me to do a detailed breakdown as to why, you can always feel free to message me. But this is your 50 support tier list. Typically, it's mostly because they either don't have special rate up, special lecture rate up, or they don't have special lecture bonus. They're the sort of 3 stats I'm hitting out for. Then I'm looking for things like practice match bonus and training bonus. If the card doesn't really have that, and the cards that go along with it to train, so the gold cards are a bit weird, then we can't really do much. But there you are. So, by the way, don't worry. A lot of these cards do get better as you level them up, and a lot of them get worse as you level them up as well. So, this will change. So, as we go into level 65, so we might as well boot up 65 while we're here. The tier list will change, and as you can see, Kunisagi still sits at the top. You will see a small shift. You can see the Gagamaru card is now sitting up in the S tier. The Gagamaru getting that Gagamaru gets pretty strong and stays pretty strong for a while. He's a decent card and has a very good ability as well. As you can see, the Nagi card's gotten a little bit better as well. I think he gets special rate up here, just pushes him up just a tad. And overall, this is your level 65 tier list. I think this is pretty accurate. I mean, I can't imagine anyone sort of telling me off for this one. Maybe the C tier can actually move into D tier and just merge the two together. These cards are pretty useless moving along the game. I have put this, the movie card a little higher because I think it does perform a little bit better than the other 2 at the bottom. But, at the end of the day, it's a card you're probably not going to use too much. So, yeah, this is your level 65 tier list. These cards are phenomenal. Guys, should we just talk about Battlegrounds for us? The Battlefields card for a second. It's fantastic. It's a great kick support card. Probably right now in the game, because of the new release, it's probably the 2nd or 3rd best card in kick support. I don't know if I would put the Nagi card above it at the moment at level 100, but going into level 65, it's up there as probably the best kick support card. So, it's a phenomenal card, and it just is. And again, Kunisagi sits at the top. Amory, Rin, Gaga, Battlefields, and then the A tier, you can see they're all very viable cards. Right, now for you whales, or you really, really lucky free-to-plays, for whatever reason, you may have a level 100. This is the level 100 tier list. I know, it looks super daunting at first. Shall I zoom in a little so you guys can see? The tier list changes massively at level 100. Kunisagi drops to an S, not because Kunisagi does bad. I mean, I could have easily added another box here and just kept Kunisagi at S+, moved some of these guys up. I would have probably moved Kunisagi and the Nagi card up into the S+ tier, and then I would have moved this into its own SS tier. This new card is busted at level 100. If you can get this card to level 100, you have probably the most future-proof card in the game for the next year. Even with buffs to come, it's going to be sitting there at the top, because JP only just got their 120% lecture bonus cards only what? I'm pretty sure the first one was, in fact, X-Rayo and X-Nagi. So, the fact that it's the movie cards that came out 2 months ago, 3 months ago in JP that have the 120%, and then since then all released cards have it. The fact that we've got that now is such a blunder from Rudel. And even if it isn't a blunder, it's such a powerful card. It's almost having Rayo and Raichu pop on the exact same card. You got to remember, they're 70% each. It's almost twice as strong as Rayo and Raichu, who are sitting at the top of like the tier list for ages. This card is just unreal. It's made 150k runs possible. It's made 160k runs possible, and it's probably made total 800k teams possible. It sits at the top. So if you're a whale and you haven't maxed this card, I don't know what you're doing. You've got literally to the end of August to go and max it. Now, this Nagi card definitely gains value as well. It's the only other support card that has a 70% lecture bonus. Again, where Rayo and Raichu are sitting at that 70% mark, we now have a Nagi support card. Bearing in mind, between the two of them, you've got 190%, which is ridiculous. Just utterly bonkers, right? Battlegrounds or Battlefield is a fantastic card, and I don't think the ring card loses any value either. I think Honorary probably is just fantastic, and so is Kunisagi. But as I said, if I was to restructure this even a little, I would probably add a tier of its own for the top card, and I could keep Kunisagi and the Nagi card in the tier above these guys. Now, moving down that tier list, guys, the rest of these cards, the A tiers, are not unusable by any stretch of the imagination. They are good cards. In fact, I would say even the B tier are good cards. It's only when you start getting to that C tier and D tier that you're sort of thinking, especially if you're a whale, you should have access to cards that are better than C and D tier. At that point, you're sort of thinking to yourself, yeah, I can do better than that. But guys, that is a quick overview onto the tier list. I'm hoping this video is useful for you guys because, you know, I don't typically make too many tier lists, but I am going to be giving a shot at the character tier list as well. So give me a couple of days. I'll hopefully have a character tier list out, and I would go check those out. We don't have the movie Rayo yet. I was sort of planning to do movie Rayo, do this tier list, but it's fine. Guys, when this comes out, I'm hoping you guys will smash the like button, hit subscribe, because, you know, we're trying to hit 6k subs. You might as well help the cause. But yeah, there you go. That's all three tier lists. I'll just show them again on the screen. So you've got your level 50, you've got your level 60, or 65, sorry, I should say, and then you've got your level 100. Nice and easy. Right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.